Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio, and the other day, I told you that there was a reprint coming of Cosmic Eclipse, and I showed you all about it and why we should be excited and all of that. And that was an extremely popular video, and it turns out that was the kind of thing you guys wanted to hear about. And since I uploaded that video, I have heard a bunch of people going, Wossy, 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 Wossy. What about this team-up reprint I keep hearing about? And the answer is, I have been digging around trying to get the best information I can, and when it comes to videos like this, I like to try and save these videos for when I have actual proper information. And if the information I have changes between making this video and uploading it, I will either update, or if the worst happens and it turns out I'm wrong, you'll never see this video, so it's all kind of pointless. Anyway, I've been speaking to my lovely friend, the good Stephen Kent, he of Playscape Games, really awesome opening channel over on YouTube, some newsy stuff there as well. Do check out Stephen's channel, it is awesome, and Stephen is one of my favourite people in the community. He rocks, so go give him a little bit of love. And I've been asking about this, and essentially it seems that there are a couple of stores over in the US who have said that they have heard that a team-up reprint is coming. They have essentially been told. Now, this is not like the Cosmic Eclipse reprint. The Cosmic Eclipse reprint, I was able to talk to people who were essentially putting in orders at their distributor, where things were happening and reprints were definitely coming. But since I did my Cosmic Eclipse video, I have had easily a couple of dozen people getting in touch asking about a team-up reprint. So we'll talk about what it means and how much we actually need one in a moment. But as it stands at the moment, I am hearing credible rumours from some stores that a reprint of Team Up is coming, but I have not been able to confirm it in the way I feel like I have been able to confirm the reprint of Cosmic Eclipse. Now, the other thing to bear in mind, when we talk reprints here, it is often boosters and booster boxes, rather than specifically elite trainer boxes and things of that nature. That is not to say that there won't be more elite trainer boxes. It is purely to say that these reprints that I've heard about so far tend to be focused on packs rather than specifically elite trainer boxes. You have been warned. So team up then, what kind of set is it, and do we really need it back? And the short answer at the beginning is not like Cosmic Eclipse. Cosmic Eclipse had a bunch of really good cards for collectors, as well as a whole bunch of really good playable cards that made a reprint awesome. Team Up is cool, but it's not on the same level. So, if we talk about, playable cards, there are a couple. I made a little bit of a list, and I put Shaman Prism Star and I put Ninetales on this list. And then I took them off again. Because Shaman Prism Star's got an amazing attack for 2 energy that does 30 damage for each energy attached to all of your Pokemon, basic energy. But when was the last time that Shaman saw a bunch of play? And maybe we can blame that on grass decks not being particularly good. But similarly, the Ninetales from Team Up has got that amazing 9 Temptations ability, lets you discard 2 fire energy from your hand and switch your opponent's bench with one of their active. Used to see play in all the fire decks, but actually hasn't for a while. Now, there are 3 really good cards. I would argue probably the 3 best and most relevant team-up cards around. But they all came in the Pikachu and Zekrom League Battle deck. So if you can find the League Battle deck for sale, you don't need a team-up reprint for these cards. You can just go and buy the Pikachu and Zekrom League Battle deck. Now, as I look in the UK at the moment, it's not difficult to buy this. Like, if you want to buy this in the UK, it is readily available all over the place. Pretty much everywhere has it in stock for the RRP, and you can buy it on eBay from a bunch of places for a little bit below RRP. So this is not a difficult thing to get hold of. This is one of those products that a bunch of people tried scalping and buying up and raising the price, including some online stores that really should know better, that vastly inflated the price before it was even released. Yeah, it's not gone up in price. You should be able to buy it for a little bit below RRP. Now, the cards I'm talking about are Pikachu and Zekrom. Possibly the best attacker in the game right now. Certainly one of the top 2 decks. Won the Players' Cup 2. Zach Lesage piloted it. And it is an absolutely phenomenal card. We've also got Tapu Koko Prism Star, which is a staple in every Lightning deck and some others, because you can Lost Zone it from the bench and attach 1 Lightning Energy from your discard to each of 2 bench Pokemon. And that amazing Jirachi, which lets you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, find a trainer card, put it in your hand, and it goes to sleep. And yeah, a skateboard rotated, and that's a little bit sad, but people are still playing it with Switch and Scoop Up Net, and it's doing just fine, thank you very much. It's still a really good card. And playability-wise, they probably are the 3 best cards from Team Up. And if you buy yourself a League Battle deck, you'll get a Tapu Koko Prism Star. Remember, that's limited to 1 per deck. You'll get a playset of the Jirachi from Team Up. And you will get yourself 2 Pikachu and Zekrom. For what it's worth, you'll also get yourself a Raichu and a Alolan Raichu and a bunch of other cards as well, because it is a complete deck that is playable out of the box. So if you haven't picked up a Pikachu and Zekrom League Battle deck yet, I would highly recommend it. The majority of the good cards will be rotating out when we hit August, September anyway, but it is only February. But then again, you got to think about, are we going to be getting in real life tournaments? Having said that, you get a code card that unlocks the entire deck online. So if you're playing online, you're good. It's a really good product. I would highly, highly recommend picking up. So what playable cards have we got in Team Up that weren't in the League Battle deck? Well, I've got a few Pokemon for you. Incidentally, trainer-wise, there are a bunch. We'll get there in a minute. We've got Gengar and Mimikyu. Now, this used to be a lot more popular than it is now. It's got an attack that, for 2 energy, does 50 damage for each trainer card in your opponent's hand, which is alright. And an attack that can stop your opponent playing cards next turn to buy you a turn, etc. It's fine. It is seen as a cheeky little tech in Mewtwo and Mew decks at the moment. It does see play in there, but it's not like it once was. We've got Omastar. Now, Omastar's a really cool one. This pops up, but it always seems to pop up in weird rogue decks. I showed you one featuring it just a couple of days ago with that new Tapu Koko V Max, which is coming out. And essentially, if you've got fewer Pokemon in play than your opponent, and it does need to be fewer than, not fewer than, or equal to, your opponent is item locked. It's just never really seemed to work as well as it should, but it is at the heart of a bunch of rogue decks. The other one we see here is Absol, and I think this is the most relevant one as far as it goes, because Absol is a really good card. It increases the retreat cost of your opponent's active Pokemon by 1, so it does see a play in a bunch of decks, and obviously we've got Galar Mine with which we can combine it nowadays, which will increase the retreat cost of everybody by 2, although generally Absol just tends to be played on its own, just popped into decks here and there. So in terms of playable Pokemon, it's not a set we need back. There are a few Fringe cards that aren't terribly expensive and some good cards which you can get in League Battle decks, which are still very readily and widely available. If, however, we head over into trainer cards, this was a really good set for trainers. We've got the Stadium cards, we've got Black Market Prism Star and Wondrous Labyrinth Prism Star, the 2 remaining Prism Star Pokemon. Also, it's worth pointing out that I've named 4 Prism Star cards in this video. Remember, they are the only Prism Star cards that are still rolling. Over in Japan, they've actually rotated the mini set from which these came. Japan has no Prism Stars at the moment. Sad face. So, these are really good. Black Market Prism Star reduces the number of prizes taken for a Darkness Pokemon with Darkness Energy attached by 1. And Wondrous Labyrinth Prism Star increases the attack cost of non-fairy Pokemon by 1. Sees play in a bunch of decks like Center Scorch, for instance, which is always going to overpay for their energy cost anyway, because they do more damage for each energy on them. The thing is, these are one-offs in your deck, so you're not going to struggle to find these cards for a decent price, because you're only playing 1 in your deck, so people aren't hoarding them. You can pick them up for a couple of quid. Elsewhere, we've got a whole bunch of other trainer cards. We've got Brock's Grit, which is a supporter card which is really good for recovering both Pokemon and energy. We got Buff Padding that will increase your HP if you've got a large retreat cost. We've got Erica's Hospitality, which it's a decent little draw card, but it's very much a fringe draw card. Metal Goggles, which reduces the amount of damage done to the metal Pokemon it is attached to. Sees a bunch of play in metal decks, especially with Lucario and Melmetal, which also reduces the amount of damage done by 30. We got Pokemon Communication, which is a really good Pokemon search card. And we've got Viridian Forest, which is a nice stadium which searches out your basic energy. But none of these are particularly expensive cards. I mean, Metal Goggles is an absolute staple in a whole bunch of really good decks, and I can go onto eBay right now and buy 3 of them for £3. And that's including shipping, and that's with a very, very quick eBay search. So, in terms of playable cards, we don't need Team Up back. Team Up has some decent cards, but it's rotating in August, September anyway. The best cards are all in the Pikachu and Zekrom League Battle Deck, which is readily available for RRP or below. And there's a bunch of good trainer cards, but they're all cheap. The thing is, when we get to collectible cards, things do seem a little bit more interesting. There are a few cards here which may well end up being a little bit valuable in the future. So take Pikachu and Zekrom, for instance. The regular version is in the League Battle Deck, etc. It doesn't really attract any value at all. But in Team Up, you can get both a full art and a rainbow rare. And at the end of the day, these are full art and rainbow rare cards featuring Pikachu. Pikachu is always going to be one of the most popular Pokemon out there. My daughter is 2 years old and her favourite Pokemon is Pikachu. And yeah, fine, she has a couple of Pikachu plush, but she's got a bunch of Pokemon plush. Obviously, she's my daughter, so it's always going to be Pikachu. Similarly, Celebi and Venusaur has come out as both a full art and a rainbow rare in the set. And Celebi is a fairly popular legendary or mythical Pokemon, but Venusaur is one of the first partner Pokemon. So it's interesting, these should be kind of popular cards in the future. Please do bear in mind that there was an alternate art version of Celebi and Venusaur, but this was released as a promo card. It was not released in Team Up, so a reprint wouldn't affect it. We've also got Gengar and Mimikyu, which came as a full art and a rainbow rare and an alternate art, and Gengar's one of those really popular Gen 1 Pokemon, and Mimikyu is very much one of the most popular Pokemon from Gen 7, so maybe these cards could end up going up in value in the future. The one that has really taken a bunch of people by surprise in terms of value already is the alternate art version of Latias and Latios, which I kept meaning to pick up, but I didn't, and let's just say it's not a cheap card nowadays. This is one that has actually ballooned in value. I mean, I'm looking on eBay at the moment, and picking one up for less than £200 would not be a particularly easy thing to try and do, which is really kind of sad. They're out there, but it's not particularly easy. So this is one card, and this is a card which has really surprised a bunch of people from the set, and it shouldn't. The artwork is beyond phenomenal. But this is one that is rapidly rising in value, so a reprint of Team Up really could help with this one quite a lot. There is a full art and a rainbow rare, but neither of those are particularly valuable at all, if I'm honest with you, so yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're worth a few quid, but you can probably pick up the full art for 20 quid, and you can pick up the rainbow rare for like 40, so yeah, the reprint would bring the prices down, but don't get too crazy. Also, when I say to bring the prices down, I don't mean it would make the prices crash forever. I mean that if there's a reprint and there's more of the cards out there, then in the short term the price would come down, and then the reprint would all sell out and the price would start going back up again and may well not come back down. Just, as a little side note. There is also Eevee and Snorlax that was both a full art and a rainbow rare and a special art. And again, you're talking about popular Gen 1 Pokemon, so these are cards which could be kind of popular in the future. The two that kind of surprise you a little bit, but maybe they shouldn't, are the full arts of Erica's Hospitality and Sabrina's Suggestion. Now, these are essentially, well, they're full art cards, right? But they're full art cards of Gen 1 gym leaders, and Gen 1's always going to be the most popular, right? And these have actually gone to, I was looking around, these are actually quite a bit more valuable than I thought they would end up being. Certainly if you go and try and buy these online, you'll pay a few quid for them. You know, the female full arts do tend to be more valuable. Sorry, Brock, nowhere near as valuable. And these are full art cards and they are popular Gen 1 gym leaders, so you know, there are a bunch of cards in Team Up that do currently attract a bunch of value and would be helped by a reprint, but I don't think we need this in the way we need Cosmic Eclipse. There are some decent collectible cards out there. Certainly from a playability standpoint, we really don't need a reprint of this, but there are some of those rare cards, you know, the super rares of full arts and rainbows, etc., which could end up being, you know, are at the moment moderately valuable and could end up going up quite a bit in the future. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. It seems like a reprint is coming, though we don't have full confirmation on that. But I don't know if we need it like we need a Cosmic Eclipse. Hey-ho. Either way, I want to hear from you guys, ladies and gentlemen. I want to know what your favourite cards from Team Up are. I want to know if you've heard anything about a reprint. And I want to know if you like a reprint. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.